Hi everyone, welcome back to a special episode of KISS, Keep It Simple Seafood. We are here today back with Samantha Ferraro and Little Ferraro Kitchen, and we also have a representative from BECU, Sarah Nuance, who is a branch manager for Bellingham branch here in Whatcom County. And today we are going to be creating a bouillabaisse. And we're very excited about this because this involves a number of amazing local proteins here from Lummi Seafood, halibut here, some amazing halibut fresh caught. We have some scallops from Sea to Shore Seafood, and these are the Alaska weather vane scallops. And then we have some icy straight prawns, side striped shrimp. And from Taylor's Shellfish, we have some amazing mussels and clams to go into this bouillabaisse. So I'm very excited that Sarah and Samantha are going to be creating this dish together, and I cannot wait for this to turn out. So stay tuned.
So today we are making a bouillabaisse. Are you familiar with what bouillabaisse is?
Looking at everything, I'm gonna guess like a soup base.
Yeah, so it's a seafood soup, and traditionally a bouillabaisse is like a French style of seafood soup, and it was using any kind of combination of whatever was fresh, you know, for the week's catch from that week. So we are doing kind of like an easier weeknight approachable recipe for bouillabaisse with like Julia Child's like inspiration. Okay,
sounds good.
Okay, so before we get to the seafood, we're gonna start making the stock and the base of it to give it some really, really good flavor. So the first thing we're gonna add is some butter, because butter and seafood is always delicious.
For everything.
And then butter burns kind of easily, so we're gonna also add a little olive oil. And everything's gonna give it some good flavor, but also not burn. And then once that melts, we're gonna add some other aromatics. All right, so next, now that the butter and oil is melted, we have some sliced leeks. So the leeks grow in the ground, they get kind of dirty. These are sliced and cleaned into thin strips. Would you like to throw that in?
Yes.
So we're gonna saute the leeks until they're nice and soft. They give really great savory onion flavor. So this will take a few minutes. Now, while that is happening, let's look at the fennel. So this is fennel, and if you're not familiar with fennel, it's one of my favorite vegetables. When it is used raw or cooked, it has two totally different flavor profiles. It's almost like licorice. But when it cooks down and sautés, it becomes super, super sweet. And fennel with seafood is like a classic combination. Like if you ever want to do something seafood, add some fennel. It is so, so delicious. So we don't need this top. You can eat these. These are called the fronds, but you don't need them. So we're just going to cut that off. And you can save this for like a seafood stock, or if you even want to juice it in the morning, it's like really good for digestion. So
love it.
That's my little tip.
Dual purpose.
And then this is the root end. I just like to cut off the root end, and then this is a good size. So we will slice it in half. And then we want to do some nice thin slices. I like to take the root out because it can be kind of hard. Let's get that out. That's a hard root. So I have something called a mandolin here. And this should be used cautiously because it's super sharp.
Okay.
But it also creates really nice thin slices. Would you like to use it?
I do.
So we'll make it like that. And then just like slice it. And then as you get towards the end, just stop because you might get close to your fingers. But just give it like a nice slice. Cool, that looks good. Perfect, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Those are some beautiful thin strips. So we like it nice and thin because when it sautés, it's going to soften really nicely. So I'm gonna saute this for, I would say maybe like 2 to 3 minutes until, we'll see what it looks like, until it gets softer. All right, so you can see the leeks and the fennel got nice and soft. There's no color on it, but they got nice and soft. They kind of got a little loosey-goosey. So now the next thing we're gonna add is some chopped garlic and tomato paste. So garlic, of course, is delicious with leeks. So I'm gonna add the garlic in, and then we have a few cloves, about 4 cloves of chopped garlic. Okay, and then we have a tube of tomato paste. Do you ever work with tomato paste?
No, never.
So it's really just condensed tomatoes. It's really thick, and it's gonna give this a beautiful color and a beautiful sweetness. So give it like one good squeeze. Let's do one more. So about 2-ish tablespoons. And then what I like to do with tomato paste is I like to really break it down into that oil. It's waking up all those flavors. It's taking it out of the tube and kind of getting all mellow and melly with the other
All
flavors.
the yumminess going on there.
So next we're gonna add some chopped tomatoes, just regular like medium size vine ripened tomatoes. Use whatever tomatoes you have. If you have cherry tomatoes, if you have a small can of chopped tomatoes, throw it in. We're just giving this another fresh layer of sweet tomato flavor. And just like everything else, we want to soften the tomatoes. We want all those juices to come out and kind of just get like nice and soft and soupy. So we'll saute this for maybe another few minutes, and then I'll show you what's next.
It's amazing.
All right, next we are going to add some saffron. Okay, so we're gonna add a good pinch of saffron right to this. That was a hefty pinch. So beautiful saffron, we're gonna add that to everything. I'm gonna stir everything together. And then we're just allowing that saffron to kind of like get comfy with all the other flavors. All right, so next we are gonna add the seafood stock. So this is really the base also of bouillabaisse. And this seafood stock I actually made yesterday. And making your own seafood stock is really easy. I mean, you can get it at your local fishery. Maybe they have like some extra bones or carcasses or shrimp shells. Ask them for that and then make your own seafood stock. I'm gonna pour this beautiful seafood stock right in here. So now we have the seafood stock in. We're gonna add a few more aromatics. So this is inspiration a la Julia Child. Her recipe has an orange peel in the stock. And I think the reason she did that is because citrus and fennel and seafood all go really, really well together. So it's gonna give it a little fresh bite, a little sweetness even, and it's just gonna steep in that broth. So would you like to grab the orange peel? If you take an orange or any citrus, and you have a vegetable peeler, you're just peeling it. That's all you're doing. And you're saving it, and you're getting all these beautiful oils that are on the outside of the citrus. We'll do one orange peel in. We'll just nestle that right over there. And I also have a bay leaf. So a bay leaf is dried, at least the ones that we usually buy here at the stores. And it just gives it a little bit of an earthy flavor. So it's really good in soups or stews. And it just steeps it. Technically you can eat it, but usually I fish it out, haha. No pun intended. But it does give it some kind of like nice kind of herbaceous flavor, yeah. So I'm gonna put that right in there. And then we also have some beautiful thyme. Thyme can kind of be like a little lemony and nice and light and bright. And you can do one or two things. Like if you were home, you could take out off the leaves, off the stem, and then like chop it up and throw it in. But we're rustic, we're easy. So we're just gonna steep this in and we'll fish it out later.
Perfect. We like to keep it simple.
And we'll just let everything hang out and kind of boil and simmer so all those beautiful flavors come together. And we'll add the fish next. So our beautiful stock base is at a nice simmer. So this is a good time to add the fish that take longer to cook. So since we have so many different kinds of beautiful seafood, I mean, look how gorgeous that halibut is. Not all seafood cooks at the same time. The things that are thicker will take longer, and the things that are more delicate will be quicker. So the first thing we're going to add is the halibut, and then we're going to add everything in layers, so in a few minutes. So that's the only thing to keep in mind with bouillabaisse. So let's add this beautiful halibut. Would you like to add the halibut?
Yes.
So we have some gorgeous halibut fillets. We cut them into smaller portion sizes. Since we are having a stew, it's easier to eat. And we're just gonna kind of like gently put it in there and just let it simmer. And we're gonna give that about 5-ish minutes, maybe a little bit less, because halibut, I would say it takes in total, I don't want simmering for more than 10 minutes. And then in that time, we're going to add everything else, the scallops, the shrimp, the clams and mussels. So we'll let this go for just a few minutes and then we'll add everything else. So next thing we're going to add is the mussels and clams, because our halibut is about halfway cooked. Mussels and clams, they can take about, I would say anywhere from 5 to 7 minutes. You just want to cook them until the shells open. Then they are done. So that's the next thing. So we're just going to add, and you can help me if you like. And what I like to do is the end, I kind of like to put the end of the mussel right in the broth, because that kind of starts to open it. So I just kind of like nestle them in like that.
Tuck them in.
Beautiful. We are next going to add these gorgeous scallops. They only take a few minutes. They're super delicate. I mean, we all love scallops, right?
Yes, right.
So
Yes.
we are just going to lightly, gently just add them to the broth.
Okay.
And then we just want them to simmer just until they are cooked through. I'm just going to spread it around. And then we'll let these simmer for about 1 to 2 minutes, and then we'll
Okay.
add the gorgeous shrimp. They only need like a minute at the very end. All right, we are almost done. The last thing we're going to add is these beautiful side stripe shrimp. We are leaving the tail and shells on. That's just
The
more
whole-
flavor.
the whole 9 yards.
More flavor.
Okay.
So
Okay.
these just need maybe 1 to 2 minutes, and we're just gonna add them right to this beautiful stew. And then once that's done, we are ready to eat. Are we ready to serve? Let me serve
Yes.
you first. You want a little bit of everything?
Oh yeah.
Let's, I know.
The rookie has to try it all.
Oh yeah, you have a little shrimp and a little scallop. Oh, beautiful.
This is so good. Don't you wish you had a bite of this, Kevin?
Hey, awesome. Yum.
I cannot thank Samantha enough again from Little Ferraro Kitchen to helping Sarah actually make a bouillabaisse, a seafood bouillabaisse. She's not enjoying this at all, folks. She is
Not at all.
loving
It's
it.
actually horrible.
Yeah, so this is actually an easier dish than what most people think it is.
Yeah.
It's flavorful. It's so robust. But the seafood does the talking. Yeah. But I want to thank Samantha. I want to thank
Thank you.
BECU. I want to thank you, the community, for staying and watching how we do all this stuff, because this is what it's all about, bringing local seafood dishes to you through our kids program. So thank you so very much, and look forward to our next program. We want to thank Samantha with Little Ferraro Kitchen to be making the BECU Bouillabaisse for the month of May. We're very excited to showcase this entire dish with the entire BEC family and to our entire Whatcom County family. And be sure to stay tuned for the recipe and learn how to make this. And also, check out Samantha. She's got a great book, The Weeknight Mediterranean.
Yes.
And she's getting ready to come out with a second book, which will be out when?
It's coming out this June, so June 2023. It's a one-pot Mediterranean. So if you love one-pot dishes like this, you'll love that new book coming out.
Well, we're looking forward to it
Thank
because you
you.
make amazing food,
Thank you.
and we are so
you.
so
It's been
blessed to
fun.
be able to have you around. So
We have so much fun.
We do have a lot of fun. Yeah. Stay tuned for next time. We look forward to working with her again. She's incredible. So check her out.